Did you suddenly lose your Covered California subsidy? Hi, I'm Kevin Knaus with InsureMeKevin.com. And even after families have gone through the renewal process, they think they've got everything set up in Covered California for their plan and the subsidy for the next year, all of a sudden the subsidy vanishes. So what's kind of going on with that? Well, I'll go over three items that you can kind of look at to see and quickly check to make sure everything is properly in its place. First, you want to get into your Covered California account, scroll down, and then there'll be a box that says account information, and you want to click the little arrow down and expand that box. Then scroll down until you find consent for verification. Now, every year, Covered California must reach out to the federal databases to check for certain conditions, such as it is a condition to receive the subsidies that you agree to file taxes and that you have filed your federal income tax return. Now, Covered California can't see your tax return, but they can find out whether you filed them. So with the consent for verification, you are allowing Covered California to do that verification. So you click on that and look at the number of years. If it's at 0, they had not given them the consent or the consent expired, you need to renew it. And that should trigger Covered California to go back out and look at the conditions and renew the subsidies. So you've done that, you still don't get the subsidies, you go back to your account information page and then scroll down and look at tax filing attestation. Some people have to file their income taxes late with an extension, into October. And again, Covered California can't see your taxes, but they can see whether you filed taxes. And if your information hasn't been uploaded or the flag hasn't been reset at the IRS, Covered California says you didn't file your taxes, therefore I can't give you the subsidies. However, you can attest that you have filed your taxes, and that's what that little button is. You will then go in and say, yes, I have or I will be filing my taxes for the last year to reconcile those premium tax credits. So you can do that, and if that still doesn't bring back the subsidies, you can look at the case history. So back at the account information, you scroll down to case history and click that. Now, whenever anyone touches the Covered California account, your Covered California account, it is logged. And so you can look at the case history and see what has been going on. And sometimes it can be very interesting. In this particular instance with this family, we see that System CW San Diego has made changes to the account. Well, CW is caseworker. That is Medi-Cal. So Medi-Cal has gotten into the account to review something. Now, Medi-Cal may not have changed anything, but the software they use sometimes doesn't properly integrate with Covered California, and certain things can be changed. I'm not really sure how that happens, but some of the fields get wiped away. So, okay, so Medi-Cal has been into this case, so what did they do? Now, you can also get into your account information page, and if you go down to documents and correspondence, you can see any letters that have been sent to you that maybe you haven't received yet from Covered California. And I did that with this one particular family, and there were several letters, and it talked about, there was issues. And in particular, it said that the primary tax filer does not plan to file federal income taxes. What? This family's been in Covered California for years. They've always filed their taxes. It's just not an issue. No one ever touched any fields to that. So you can get into your application review, and when you do that, that's right on the home page as well. You're not changing anything. And I was able to get in there and just kind of review the application, and sure enough, it says plan to file taxes. Nobody files taxes. Who checkmarked that? I didn't do that. The consumer didn't do that. It had to have been Medi-Cal that flipped that switch. Alternatively, you can look at your eligibility results section, and in this particular family, it showed that they were eligible for a Covered California plan, but there was no financial help, and they weren't eligible for the Enhanced Silver benefits. So obviously, there were some issues going on. So that's when you have to report a change, and then you can go through the different pages and then click on plan to file taxes, yes. Required to file taxes, yes. And then submit that. When you do that, you just want to make sure everything else looks good. Sometimes Medi-Cal may have changed income, so you want to make sure that that is current and then submit it. When we went through that process, the subsidies came back for the next year. So a lot of different things that can go sideways with Covered California and lose the subsidies. And so there's just different things that you can look at and check, and then you can kind of zero on what might actually be going on. So if you have any comments or questions, you may leave them down below. I am Kevin Knaus for InsureMeKevin.com.